JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. 2 high-powered rifles seized in Waterhouse, 10 men detained. A major operation in Waterhouse, St. Andrew on Monday morning, resulted in the seizure of 2 high-powered rifles and the detention of 10 men. The men are to be questioned, 2 in relation to the weapons seized. The police did not reveal the reason for the detention of the other men. Police, supported by soldiers, conducted a targeted 5-hour coordinated search operation in the St. Andrew South community, which covered White Lane, Varma Road, Ashoka Road, and roads leading off. The guns, a Radical RF-15 rifle with 1 magazine, and an AK-47 assault rifle with 1 magazine and 8 cartridges were seized. St. Thomas Police lists person of interest. The St. Thomas Police have listed a man as a person of interest who they believe can assist them with an ongoing investigation relating to a shooting incident on Swamp Road, Yallas, in the parish on August 18. He is 33-year-old O'Shane Burton, also of Swamp Road in the parish. The police say anyone knowing his whereabouts is being asked to contact the Morant Bay Criminal Investigation Branch at 876-982-1027, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Bus driver killed in crash in St. Anne. A 27-year-old bus driver perished in a vehicular crash along the main road in Landover in St. Anne on Monday. That is Esteshi Grant of Mile End District in Ochereus in the parish. According to reports, about 5:15 p.m., Grant was driving a 2014 Toyota Coaster bus along the roadway. Upon reaching a section of the roadway, he collided with a motor truck attached to a tractor trailer. The bus was extensively damaged, and Grant suffered severe injuries and was assisted to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The Runaway Bay Traffic Department is investigating the matter. Attorney says woman charged with harboring a fugitive did not know he escaped jail. The St. Catherine woman was allegedly held in the company of Talik Chambers, who had escaped from the Constant Spring police lockup, was remanded until September 2 when she appeared in the parish court today. When Jehan Shamara Holmes appeared before acting senior parish court judge Janelle Nelson Gale, the Crown opposed bail. The court was informed that the accused was charged with harboring a fugitive under the name Shamara Holmes. However, investigation revealed that her registered name is Jehan Holmes. She is also a person who associates with persons of questionable character, and giving a wrong name suggests that she is a flight risk, the clerk of court said. In applying for a bail, Attorney at Law Denise Inson said her client gave her nickname Shamara but did not intend to mislead the police. The court was also told that she was not aware that Chambers had escaped from police custody. Your Honor, he was not found at her house. She did not transport him or facilitate his escape. He simply sent a taxi for her, and she visited him at the location of the 9-month-old child they share, Hinson said. It is alleged that about 10 a.m. on August 20, the 21-year-old accused was held in the company of Chambers who had escaped from the Constant Spring police lockup. She was arrested and charged with harboring a fugitive. Road fatalities up 4% for April to June 2025. Statistics of the second quarter of 2025 indicate that road fatalities increased by 4% compared to the same period last year. The Island Traffic Authority says 96 fatalities from 85 crashes were recorded during the April to June period. Some 92 fatalities were recorded during the similar period last year. So far this year, 250 people have died as a result of 218 fatal collisions. Motorcyclists account for 28%, or 69 fatalities since the start of the year. 21 multiple vehicle collisions have occurred, resulting in 53 multiple fatalities as of August 25. Meanwhile, elderly fatalities have increased by 123% when compared with a similar period in 2024. Golding maintains PNP will implement manifesto promises. President of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, has defended the party's ability to deliver on its campaign promises. Among the many promises of the PNP for this election is an increase of the income tax threshold to $3.5 million if the party forms the next government. Golding, speaking Monday at the unveiling of the PNP's Manifesto Light, cited, for example, the fiscal policy paper, which is tabled as one of the budget documents, and there is an interim one that is tabled in September each year.
The information available to the opposition is better than it has been in years gone by. For example, the fiscal policy paper, which is tabled as one of the budget documents, and there's also an interim one that's tabled in September each year, is full of very critical information on the economy and on the public finances, including projections as to future revenues. Similarly, there's information on tax expenditures and the medium-term debt management strategy of the government. So those are all mandatory documents that have to be tabled with the budget each year, and in September in the case of the interim fiscal policy paper. So that enables an opposition to have a fairly good idea of what is possible fiscally in terms of what we can do. We know that when we come into government, there will be many things that were not disclosed publicly and which we will have to deal with. That is the reality of when there's a change of government. And we know, for example, that right now there are unsettled claims from the public sector workers which have to be addressed. They've been offered 0%, which is not really an offer at all. And there are various anomalies in the public sector transformation of their compensation, which we are committed to working with the public sector unions and the representatives of public sector workers to resolving those anomalies. But there may be many other things that we would not be privy to and which we would have to adjust when we form government.
Some Jamaicans could have drug trafficking convictions expunged under the new JLP government. Jamaicans convicted of drug trafficking and who have not reoffended could have their records expunged if the Jamaica Labour Party JLP gets another opportunity to become government. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang made the promise while addressing the JLP political meeting in St. James on Sunday. Certain offences under the Dangerous Drugs Act fall under the third schedule of the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, which does not allow some convictions to be expunged.
And I want you to listen because I've met at least a dozen Montegonians who suffer from this. All of you know the little time when in Montego Bay and things are run, a man sold a little thing around, go Miami or New York and get a little money. You right? It was almost like a fad. Students leaving school, they take 2 condoms, a hash oil, right? And them take a run, they get caught. It is called trafficking. It wasn't right. They abuse the interests and the inquisitiveness of young people. But it happened. But in 2014, that man put those traffickings under Schedule 3 of the law. That minister put Schedule 3 in a sector that you can never get exposement. And there are a lot of people in Montego Bay, they have a life sentence.
Dr. Chang said a new JLP administration will modify changes made by a previous People's National Party government. He told the audience at the rally that a number of Jamaicans continue to be punished because of a 2014 amendment to the Criminal Records Act led by former Justice Minister Mark Golding. Veteran interpreter claims she's been blacklisted by Jamaica Debates Commission. Jamaica's primary sign language interpreter, Antoinette Aiken, has made claims that she's been blacklisted by the Jamaica Debates Commission JDC after the first of 3 debates between the country's 2 political parties took place on Saturday without interpretation for the deaf community.
Backup interpreters, this has nothing to do with backup interpreters. This has to do with a choice and a personal decision that the Jamaica Debates Commission made. They decided that they don't want to work with me for reasons that they can't say. And they've been telling other people all kind of things, say me rude and me what. Me say, how me rude? Because the only thing I did was stand for the rights of my community, my deaf community. And I won't change that. You hearing anybody else in the world, I won't change the fact that I grew up in the 90s and I saw the struggles. I have to stand for the rights of deaf people. I have to. So my point is, it's not about not available. It's not about not being able to provide access. It's about being blacklisted. That's really what's happening here. I'm being blacklisted. And I've heard organizations say I'm rude, but nobody can tell me directly what I was rude about. Nobody can say it. And everybody has been talking. But the reality is what? The only thing you can say is that I stood and advocated for the deaf community. And my community that Uno and my community. Deaf people are my people. My mother and father deaf first. First. I watched them suffer. And I said when I grew up, I won't allow that to happen anymore. I avoided being a part of conversations. I avoided saying anything because I didn't want people to say, oh, it's political, or oh, this has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with personal experience. I grew up in the 90s. This is not your choice. This is not a personal decision. This is not, oh, I don't like this person, or I don't like that person, or this is not about you. This is about people. Humans first. Humans first. Deaf people first. Autism, this is a perfect example of autism. What the Jamaica Debates Commission is doing. The perfect example. You decide that this is better for the community without their consent and their approval. And they told you, no, this is what we need. You're artist. So as the last thing Mega say, I don't care about how people feel. I don't care about what I've seen sign language clubs of Jamaica. I've seen people, but the reality is this is not for you. This is not for hearing people. This is not for JDC, TBJ, CVM. This is for the deaf community.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.